In this video, we'll be looking at GED math formulas for surface area, specifically rectangular prisms. We'll be calculating the surface area, as well as calculating an unknown side when given the surface area. When working with three-dimensional objects, you'll see various surfaces or faces. Taking the surface area of a three-dimensional object means that we're finding the area of these faces and then adding them together to get the total area. That's what's referred to as surface area. We'll be working with three-dimensional objects, but again, area is a two-dimensional form of measurement and will always be measured in square units. These are the surface area and volume formulas that are found on the GED formula sheet. In this video, we're going to focus on the first two, rectangular prisms and right prisms, specifically the surface area formulas. The first surface area formula we're going to look at is the rectangular prism. Now, there are two types of rectangular prisms. There is the right rectangular prism, and notice we have right angles or 90-degree angles. There's also the oblique rectangular prism. This one is absent of 90-degree angles, and you can see that it's kind of slanting. Now, this formula here will work for both of these types of prisms. The formula is read as surface area equals 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. To calculate the surface area, we're going to plug in the information that's given, and in this problem, you're given the width, or excuse me, the length, the width, and the height. And here you see we've got it all written out. Now you could use parentheses if you want to separate the length width and the length height and the width height. That's fine. You do want to follow order of operations, however. In this case, multiplication occurs before addition, and so you would do all the multiplication first and then add them up to get the surface area. Again, notice that the unit of measurement is inches squared. So in this example, we're given the surface area as well as the width and the height. We need to determine what the length is. So we're just going to plug in all the information into the formula to solve for the length. We'll start with 232 equals 2 times the length times 4 plus 2 times the length times 7 plus 2 times 4 times 7. We'll simplify as much as we can by multiplying first, and we can then combine these two terms here. We have 232 equals 22 times length plus 56. Let's subtract 56 from both sides. That will lead us to 176 equals 22 times the length. Lastly, we'll divide both sides by 22, and that will give us 8 feet for the length. Now let's look at a rectangular right prism, and let's use this formula. Surface area equals the perimeter of the base times height plus 2 times the area of the base. And the base would be this part right here. Now to figure out the surface area, we do want to first determine what the perimeter of the base is, as well as the area of the base. I'm going to use the dimensions for length and width to figure out those two. The length will be 10. The width is 6. So for the perimeter, I use the formula of 2 times length plus 2 times width. And I got 32. So that would be 32 inches. Now the area of the base is going to also use the 10 and the 6 for the length and the width. And for area of a rectangle, we just multiply these two numbers together. Here we'll get 60 inches squared. Okay, now we're going to plug in the information that we have. We'll have the perimeter, which is going to be 32 times the height, which is 5, plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 60. We'll simplify it by multiplying first, and we get 160 plus 120. Our surface area for this right prism will be 280 inches squared. In this example, we are given the surface area, but we want to figure out what the height is. We're also given the length and the width. In this example, I wrote out the full formula and used parentheses to separate different parts. But if you want to figure out the perimeter and the base first, if you're able, and you should be able to because you have, in this case, the length and the width, and that's what you need for the perimeter or the base. Otherwise, you can do it the way I've written it in this example. So we're plugging in the surface area, which is 328, and we have 2 times the perimeter, and that's what's inside here. 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. 2 times 5 plus 2 times 4. And then we're going to multiply the height. Now we don't know the height, but we need to use the variable to represent it. And that's what we're going to be solving for. Then we're adding 2 times the base of the area, or the area base, 5 times 4. Now we're just simplifying. We get 328 equals 2 times 18. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 4 is 8. Combine those, we get 18. Times h plus 2 times 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Simplify some more, we get 328 equals 36h plus 40. Let's subtract 40 from both sides. We get 288 equals 36 times h. Let's divide both sides by 36. And our height is going to be 8 centimeters.